group number 2. This is Kamara of Water and Spirit. Thank you so much for joining me in this reading. So, group number 2, let's see. You picked this card. Shows kind of a medicine person. On the back of this card, it says time. Let's read a little bit about it. The number is 14, and underneath it says a doorway. Very synchronistic with the channeled message I received yesterday. If you haven't had a moment to take a listen to it, it's in the intro of this. It's in an intro reading separate from this one. And you can find the link for it in the description box below. Its place is on the west part of the medicine wheel for this tradition, and the color is black. It says here, life can be a medley of delight when the painting of your path begins to fray within your own lodge of thought. Shift your mind's eye to that of a placid sea. See the brilliant path of silver light that comes across the water to bring you safely home. Let the clarity of light fill you with radiant colors as you're surrounding yourself with the protection of the ancestors. This is the time of your becoming. What wonders do you dream of for yourself? Sorry, my eyes are a little bit telling me that I need better glasses, but yeah, time. Number 14. Which can come to 5, right? 1 and 4. And 5 is a number of transformation and change. But it's interesting because time is being described as a doorway. Even in the channeled message that I got yesterday, that there are portals and that we access different ancestors depending on the frequency of healing that we're engaged in. And so this time, it says here, just want to read that one line again. Let the clarity of light fill you with radiant colors as you surround yourself with the protection of the ancestors. So let's dive into this a little bit more and see what energy, what ancestor energy is seeking to communicate with you, group number 2. What ancestor energy is seeking to communicate with group number 2? Clarify group number 2 in time. There may be a couple. Let's see. We have sage, be devoted and committed. And we have high priest, intend and create. Both of these are very, how do I want to say, spiritual images. One image of the sage being that very learned wisdom of the sage, right? The sage being that person who probably studies more hermeneutic. You know, the sage is that who studies from ancient wisdom. And then also, in a totally different culture, we have the high priest, who says intend and create. And this high priest also is of an ancient divine wisdom. So group number 2, you have very ancient ancestors that are trying to communicate with you right now. And I like how the high priest ends up facing time as well as the sage is on the other side of time. There are some ancestral energies that you are connecting with that come from different time periods. And that might be important to you, group number 2. Let's pull another couple of oracle cards and we will get into more meaning making. So, group number 2, you have the hummingbird here. It says a hummingbird in linger. So, let me get out the book to read to you. What that means. The number is 50. So, again, we have that 5 energy coming up. I had to cough. Hopefully I muted that, but sorry if I didn't. Let me go to 50 in the book. Oh, very close, very close. Okay. It says here, group number 2 for hummingbird. It says, in a wide green valley, there lived a pear tree covered with pale blossoms, containing nectar sweet enough for the bold tongues of gods. The gods passed by the tree without noticing it, and absorbed as they were in straightening out the messy affairs of humans. This left the sweet flowers to be discovered by a very fortunate hummingbird. One fine spring morning, as the sun rays lit the delicate petals like stars. So it says here that hummingbirds' hearts beat as fast as 1,260 beats per minute. And when the weather is warm to mild. In the winter, however, hummingbirds slow their heart rate to 50 to 180 beats per minute. This puts them in a torpor that helps them survive the cold. Once the world warms up again, they return to their usual speedy heartbeats, whirlwind wings, and nectar gathering. Something about the guidance here for this card. It says that you are conditioned to act, to think, assess, plan, and act some more. The supposition of the cycles of constant action is that you yourself are in control of your fate. Very interesting word, right? Because if you listen to the recording of the channeled message I received yesterday, Spirit, the ancestor said, fate has died and left us with our destiny. And so this is about trying to control your conditions, but the conditions may end up very well trying to control you, group number 2. And there's something very spiritual and ancient about this time for you, because I think you're hearing guidance from very long ago ancestors who want you to know that as this doorway appears, because a doorway was definitely referenced in that channeled message, as this doorway appears, where are you allowing for yourself as is to access that portal? And there's something here about saying you have knowledge over lifetimes. You've been exposed to knowledge over lifetimes. These very well, for some of you in group number 2, could be the essence of past lives that you've carried. And that time is being shown to you by the ancestral world, group number 2, as something that moves. It's not static. It is constantly moving. We are constantly shaping and shifting to the times that we're in. But these times, they move almost like multiple lines. And I'm being showed that for you, group number 2, that there's something about you shifting timelines even and seeing all of these past iterations of yourself, even down to a hummingbird, which is such a beautiful symbol of how we change with the seasons, how our heart might even change with the seasons. Our heartbeat may have to change and adapt to the season we are in. Let's go to a message from your ancestors, group number 2. A message for group number 2 from the ancestors. Your ancestors say, group number 2, count all of your blessings, even the smallest ones. Show gratitude and appreciation for all that you have in life. and all that has yet to come in it. Your best days are still ahead of you. Isn't that a wonderful thought? So, yeah, you are being guided here by your ancestors to understand that the doorway is not necessarily something that's going to guarantee some kind of windfall. The doorway is simply you deciding in with your choices, with your decisions, group number 2, which way you want your life to go. And in making some of that decision or filling into that, your ancestors are saying the doorway arrives. The doorway is here. And sometimes it's not about trying to control how we are going to enter the doorway, meaning, do we feel like we need to be 100% ready for certain doorways or certain opportunities? Time is a very elusive thing. Who is to say when or how we will be ready for the next step in our lives? You are being guided by your ancestors to really tap into your awakening, to listen to your intuition, because the answer is within you. To reconcile your mind and your heart and let your spirit lead. There is something here about this journey that you're on, group number 2. Some of you might be in school. You might be learning something right now. Or maybe you've just completed something and you're wondering, am I ready? Because we know there's one thing to graduate. There's another thing to be ready to be in that field, right? To exercise your wisdom. But your ancestors, look how they're showing up as the different skulls at the bottom of the book heap. Your ancestors have had their hands, they're saying, all over your learning, all over this learning journey for you. And now they're tapping you on the shoulder. They are showing you, group number 2, that you're getting ready to be invited into a whole new world. A world where you may have to use some of that knowledge that you've spent so much time trying to learn. And maybe there are fears that you need to be prepared or for this environment. Maybe there are fears that you may not have enough to be in this environment, but your ancestors are saying you are blessed. It is a time for you to connect with gratitude for the journey that you've been on, but to allow yourself to move through a different doorway of time. It is time for you to go through that doorway knowing you're blessed, knowing that you have been looked out for completely on this journey, because you are awakening to a new opportunity, group number 2. And it's time sometimes to leave behind the old. Very similar to group number 1 in some senses. It's time to release the old and allow yourself to step into the new, which is more of the message of group number 2, which is to allow yourself to move through the doorways. We cannot do anything by staying where we're at sometimes. Sometimes where we're at, we have completed that lesson, and now it's time for us to move into a new lesson, a new chapter. And that will require you listening to your intuition. Let's get one more message from the ancestors, even though they kind of gave you 2 already. Oh, wow. Look at that. High priestess. So you have the high priest and you have the high priestess. The high priestess says, harness mystic power. The high priest, again, is about intending and creating. You see how they face each other, this masculine and feminine energy facing each other, their wings even meeting, their gazes meeting. There is inside of you, group number 2, this alignment of the masculine and the feminine coming together with you. In its energetic definition, the feminine is receptive and the masculine is giving. So there is something about allowing yourself to be in the full embodiment of reciprocity. And that speaks to gratitude too. That speaks to awakening too. That there are forces inside of you that are coming to a certain wholeness, group number 2. And these forces, I think it's best to allow them to manifest in your life. Allow them to come in the time that's being presented. There's no need to force things. This doorway has already appeared for you. Your ancestors are saying it is time to take it. And when you take that doorway, a whole other set of experiences, maybe even lessons, are waiting for you. So that's what I have for you, group number 2. Please let me know if you resonated with this ancestral message by giving it a thumbs up. If you do like the way that I read and you like that this channel is dedicated to ancestral medicine, I was going to say messages, but medicine too, then please consider subscribing. I would love to have you here. Until next time, my honeys, take care.